So I would like to welcome Alan Rajah. He is a partner at Lawrence Grant Chartered Accountants, a firm that specialises in the healthcare sector. So welcome, Alan, and I'm going to hand straight over to you just to tell us a little bit about yourself and the topic we're focusing on today.
Thank you, Alka. I'm delighted to be invited to present this webinar on tax relief for the GP profession. As a short introduction, Lawrence Grant has been supporting the healthcare industry for the last 20 years. We've been helping our clients to minimize the taxes and also improve their systems and processes. Let me just share my screen with you to go into my slides. And what we're focusing today is COVID-19 tax relief for the GP locum profession. The topics that we're going to cover today during this webinar are HMRC payments, using spouses' personal allowances, corporation tax, IR35, compliance requirements, and also contact details. So if you're running a business and employ staff, you should contact HMRC to delay PAY payments. Please note that interest will be charged for late payment of your PAY. You can also delay your second payment account that is due on 31st July 2020, which can be delayed to 31st January 2021. There'll be no penalty or interest for delaying this payment. You should also consider transferring spouses' personal allowances to the higher income earner to minimize your tax liability. This applies if your high income earnings is not more than £50,000 and you must be married or in a civil partnership, and the income of the spouse gifting the allowance should be also below the personal allowances. On the corporation tax, there's been no specific tax relief available for companies. However, if you're unable to pay your corporation tax on time, you'll need to submit an application for time to pay your tax.
Okay, thank you, Alan. So you told us about limited companies that may be employing staff and also about corporation tax. The other thing I wanted to ask you about was IR35, because it's often a subject of quite a lot of confusion. Could you just sort of explain a little bit about what it is and if there are any changes to the legislation?
Yes, the much debated IR35 legislation has been delayed due to COVID-19. The legislation applies to personal service companies, also known as PSC. The legislation applies to medium-sized and large business engagers. Those are people who actually employ these PSC companies. The legislation applies, a PSC is engaged by small businesses who will continue to self-assess its own IR35 status under existing IR35 regulations. It is very likely that most locum GPs will be caught by this legislation.
What does that mean, Alan? Why do you think locums are going to be caught out?
Well, for a start, there's normally a mutuality obligation between the GP practice and the locum doctor. And the surgery normally provides the equipment for the surgeons to do the work and ensures it for the locum doctor. The locum doctors are also unable to send substitutes if they're not able to turn up for work. And they're normally on a fixed hour contract basis. The way to overcome this legislation is to have a good contract in place. There's also risk of exposure under the Criminal Finances Act, which needs to be evaluated on a case-by-case basis. The issue with the coronavirus job retention scheme is that it applies to employees on PAYE. The IR35 legislation has been postponed to April 2021. You'll still need to meet the compliance requirements and penalties will still apply for non-compliance. There are no changes in administrative obligations for companies and individuals. Businesses will need to still keep tax records for HMRC purposes. You'll still need to file your tax returns on time. You also need to continue to file your PAY and EPS returns. Finally, please refer to the self-assessment helplines, which is the payment helpline, which is on the screen itself, and also the payment support service. It's got a separate number on that as well. And HMRC has also set up a special coronavirus helpline to help businesses obtain help.
Brilliant. Actually, I think those helpline numbers are really, really useful. So thank you for that, Alan. That was a bit of a whistle stop through some of the complexities of tax relief. So you have helped to clarify a few areas, but I think it's certainly areas that sort of individual conversation needs to take place, because we're all sort of set up in such different ways. So anywhere that we can come and find you if we want to ask you a few more questions?
You can contact us through our website, www.lawrencegrant.co.uk, and I'm more than happy to be contacted by email, alan@lawrencegrant.co.uk.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alan. You've been really helpful today. Thank you.
Thank you, Alka.